Then we can just get started and ask you some questions. So actually, you started telling me in the beginning of this call about how you were skeptical when you joined. So I'd love for you to actually reshare that in this recording and just tell us a little bit about why you joined. Let's start with why you joined the program at the beginning and tell us about that skepticism. What was the decision to join, and why did you decide to join the program?
So the reason I decided to join is because I'm going through a career transition. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, my industry was adversely affected, and I wanted some stability for the future, or a little bit more than I currently have. But I wasn't certain or clear as to what that transition looked like, or what my experience and skills can craft another, because I'm literally going into a different career path. And so I wanted some clarity, and I happened to, come about the career camp, and I missed the first week, but I saw the recording and I did the following weeks. And then we spoke about doing more one-on-one coaching. And there was something that you said that really resonated with me, and it was basically investing in yourself. And I thought about the fact that I am so easily able to spend my money on material things, and why wouldn't I want to spend the time, energy, and effort in myself, especially because I didn't have clarity, and I knew I wanted something, but I didn't know what those steps were. And I decided, because of the investing in myself was worth everything. And that's why I decided to join Path to Purpose.
And you were skeptical about the group program in the beginnings, because we were talking about the one-on-one versus group. And so what were you concerned about?
So I've had career coaching in the past, and know what that experience is like, where the focus is on me. And understanding that this was a little different, geared more towards a group environment, group support, group setting. And I felt that would take away from the focus being on me. So that was my skepticism as it relates to, do I want to share this experience basically with other individuals who are going through the same journey? And so that was my skepticism. But what I found was that it ended up being a supportive group environment, where when I was going through something very specific during any given week, any given assignment that we were given, and then we would have our call, and everyone would share their individual experiences. And that supportive environment helped me become less skeptical. And I think it happened probably the first couple of weeks, whereas I think the first week I was still a little skeptical, just trying to understand the process. But then afterwards, they're going through the same thing that I'm going through. I'm not alone in this. And hearing their stories either helped me look at things a little differently. I felt like I was able to provide some semblance of support to others who were maybe not feeling, maybe I was having a good week and they weren't. So that balance of energy really worked well as it relates to being able to say that I didn't necessarily have to do this on my own, that this journey that we were all in was really meant to just provide support and provide encouragement, and to hear other stories, because we're not in this alone, and we don't have to go through this process. I know that the identifying what our purpose is an individual process, but everything else that comes along was a journey that was shared with everyone, and that was very beneficial to me. So I would definitely, if I were to do this in the future, would do group support as it relates to my career, because I think there's so much that we can gain from others, and we can also share, reciprocate in that respect as well.
Totally. That's beautiful. Tell me a little bit about the impact that the program has had on your life. Like, what are some specific things that you feel like you gained from it?
So I think the number one impact that it's made in my life is that I have started journaling, which is something that I had stopped a long time ago for whatever reason. I don't even remember. And most importantly is the meditation. It's the opportunity to reflect on the present moment, not to think about what's happened in the past, things I cannot change or control, not being worried about the future because it hasn't happened. So what can I do in the present moment that can impact my future? And had it not been for this program, I would not have made those concerted efforts to meditate, because part of the session is to really sit with ourselves and conjure up the questions that we want answers to, and how surprisingly, and I sometimes even wonder how it still happens, that I am able to either find inspiration about something that I've thought about, and all of a sudden in that moment, I have the answer, or to really be very clear as to what my day looks like, what my week looks like, and to know that this journey that I'm going through is the journey that I'm meant to have. And that's the third lesson that I learned from this.
I love that. What were you expecting to get out of Paths of Purpose, and how might that have been different from what you needed to get out of Paths of Purpose, or from what you actually got out of it?
So I definitely expected to be a little clearer with regards to what does that transition looks like for me in my career. I think I got that, but I got also so much more. It's the mindset, the things we did in terms of our assignments that I haven't thought about my childhood in a long time, but how that's the catalyst, that's the foundation to who we are as individuals, and how we can really utilize those skills and that learning process that we have had as kids and into our adulthood to really steer our future, but also to be able to say, that is why I do it, and maybe I don't want to do that anymore. So I think from a behavioral perspective, it's something I gained that I wasn't expecting, but also the clarity with regards to what my career looks like in the future. And then also, most importantly, is that I want to do something that I feel passionate about. I don't want to do something for the sake of, getting a paycheck every week. But I want to do something impactful, something that makes a difference in others' lives, even if it's a job, and I don't want to say it's a job, it's a career. And I want to be happy when I get up in the morning. So, and I guess I never thought about that as being a possibility. Not that I never thought about it, but intellectually I probably did, but really feel that I want to be able to really be impactful in someone's lives, in an organization, to make a difference, and to also be happy all at once.
Can you share some specifics on what from the program helped you see that possibility for the first time?
The most impactful assignment that we had was the limiting beliefs. I always would say to people that I know who I am, I know myself, but I didn't realize it until that assignment, as it relates to this internal thinking or voice that would say to me that I cannot, or it's not possible. And having gone through the process of that assignment really helped bring that to light, in as much as why, always asking the questions about why, and why do I believe it, and why is it there. And so that assignment was the most impactful of all the assignments. I mean, and they were all, to a certain degree, very impactful because they brought on a new understanding about myself and my career. But that one specifically, it was life altering, if I can say, only because that was an assignment that not just impacts the experience of trying to figure out what I want for my next career move, but for my life in general, that I don't have to limit myself in any aspect of my life, whether personally or professionally. So that was most impactful assignment, is the limiting belief, and the only limits we have are the ones that we place on ourselves.
So true. What kinds of people are like, who would you recommend this program to, if you would recommend it? Like, at what life stage would you say that this would be a program that someone should take?
I think at any life stage, only because I probably was the most advanced of the group in my career. And there were a lot of those, a few, I think, who were just trying to figure out, or in the beginning of really identifying what their career looks like for themselves. But I think in any stage of one's career, when you're not certain as to the direction that you should take, is a time to really sit back and reflect on what will help me learn about what I need to do, or what steps I need to take to be able to find something that's fulfilling in my career. So I don't think there's a stage. I think it's just any stage, really. A stage of uncertainty is when you should seek out help.
Love it. What was different about, I know you've worked with other career coaches before. I would assume you've probably done some other online courses and stuff. What was different about Path to Purpose than other programs that you've done before?
The opportunity to, prior to the start of the sessions, to really settle into what we're going to be doing, or what we'll be talking about for the next hour. I think a lot of experiences that I've had in the past is about jumping right into what your assignment was and processing that, and then jumping on to what we'll do for the next week. And I think what really helped with this, it didn't feel rushed, first of all. It felt as if we were being given a moment to really set ourselves up to really discuss what we've done, and then also to personally process it for us individually, and also to be able to provide a level of support to those who are also sharing their experiences. And there's always nuggets of information that I gain from everyone that I interact with, regardless of their the stage of their career. I want to say that I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm always open to that feedback, and that being able to be in this supportive environment helped me personally in identifying my career path.
Anything else that you just want to share about the experience and the impact that it's had before we turn off the recording?
I think what's most important to know is that when you are investing in yourself, to be open to whatever comes your way. And I think that's what I also did, because I said, I'm going to be engaged. I'm going to go that extra mile, but we're investing in ourselves, and we should be engaged in the process. And this is an opportunity to really learn and to gain some clarity, to gain some level of support. And I think it helps us in our next steps, but also I think it helped me personally to be able to internalize all that learning and carry it on to my life.
Okay, my last question. We talked about the clarity that you got in terms of your career path. Did the program impact anything? And obviously, you talked about how it's impacted you internally and personally, but has it impacted anything unexpected or anything outside of your career?
Unexpectedly, personally, it did impact me because not only did I gain clarity for my career, but I've gained meditation. I've gained the practice of journaling, which what I've noticed is doing those things provides me so much more happiness than prior to the experience. So, and I'm excited. I'm excited about where this is going to lead, and I can't wait to share it with you.
Okay, thank you. I'm just gonna press